You may think that the Hancock County Technical Center has always been the way it is today, but you'll probably be surprised that it had to go through a lot in order for it to become the great school it is now. It all started when Frank Lee, who was the county's vocational director back in the 1970s, proposed to the local school board that a vocational school should be built. The board liked the idea, but they decided the citizens of Ellsworth should vote on it. Unfortunately, the citizens voted on it a few months later and rejected it. But the city never gave up. They placed the question on the ballot again during the next election, and they chose to have the school built. A short time later, the city council also approved a construction budget of $1.5 million, which was considered a lot of money during that time period. The school was not finished until a year later, and that's how the Boggy Brook Vocational School came to be. Everyone in Ellsworth was really looking forward to school opening at the start of next school year, but there was one major obstacle that kept the school from opening on time.
At the very beginning, this school was built, and then it was voted to have a budget of $1. And what that means is, when you vote a budget of $1, what you're saying is, we don't believe that this school should be open. So there was a lot of political turf issues in the very early history. And that had to do more with where should it be in the county, who's going to run it, who's going to be in charge of it. I would have to say the adults maybe of that time could have done a better job in setting up the school and agreeing on that, because what's happened since then is people have said, we really need skill training for our young people, and everybody, I believe, agrees with that today.
When the citizens came to an agreement over the budget, students came to the school to work towards the vocational careers they always wanted, but in a different way.
The day then, when students came here back in the early 1980s, they arrived here in January of their junior year. And they came 5 days a week, stayed the whole day, and then went home for the summer to work in the occupations in which they were training, and then came back in September, and they graduated in the early part of January of their senior year. Then they would go back to their sending high schools for the last semester of their high school career.
The 1990s was a time of transition for our school. The citizens got concerned about the environment. We got a new school director on a regular basis. We lost at least 2 programs due to lack of interest, but the good news is that we changed our name to HCTC, which stands for Hancock County Technical Center, and we became more technical, which helped a lot of students.
Personally, I started in photography and came to the media communications class and found, there were a number of ways that I can kind of push my artistic abilities, and it kind of showed me what I want to do as a career and opened a lot of doors so that I have the ability to do that, whether it be preparing me for college or hooking me up with people in the industry and just really getting experience and the skills and knowledge that I need to go into what I want to do, which is what I think it does for a lot of students here.
My favorite thing about HCTC is getting to hang out with all of my class. It's really fun, and I love the preschool and getting to work with the kids. So I have to say, I love early childhood as a class overall. It's my favorite thing about HCTC.
The change in teaching styles in the new millennium has helped our students learn hands-on skills. This would not have been possible without the new technology that has been released recently.
We have become much more technical in nature. We started out vocational in the 1980s, and now we are very, very technical. The fact is that we have a film and video program here at the school, that we have computer technology. Every single course now is loaded with technology and technical skills that are needed to do that. So I would say that the level of difficulty has increased tremendously in the 30 years since I started teaching school.
All of this new technology has given our school a chance to offer new classes, which will hopefully help students for many years to come.
Honestly, I'd just like to see the school progress in the direction that progressing in, because I think it's certainly working, and I think it has a lot of things that it still has to achieve, and I think it's on a good track to do that. And so really, you know, as long as HCTC continues what they're doing, they'll be fine.
I'd like to see the school become bigger and more involved in the community, and have Skills USA become bigger and really pull the entire community together to work with everyone and everything. And I'd like to see more community members like involved in what we're doing here. It would be really cool.